Today we're going to be going through my AP art portfolio. I did this my senior year of high school, which was last year. I now graduated, and this is actually the only art class I ever took in high school. So I'm just going to be going through all the pieces, sharing my explanation behind them, and I've seen other videos like this and people give tips, but I feel like I'm not qualified to do that, so I'm not gonna do that. My one tip though is don't procrastinate. That's like everyone's like big thing that they say. So you probably already heard it a lot if you are going into AP art, but literally don't procrastinate. Most of my portfolio was done, I say the week before it was due. I think all of them except for like 3 were done in one night, like one night per painting, you know? And I feel like that you can see the quality isn't very good. I actually didn't want to film this video for a long time because I'm embarrassed by my portfolio. I really don't like the way it turned out. I'm not proud of it. I don't think it's good. Also, like, I was being such a big baby about getting a 4 instead of a 5. But like, girl, you put in no effort. What were you expecting? Anyways. As I just said, I rushed through all of it, but I've seen like pretty much all of the AP art portfolio videos on YouTube thus far, so I felt like I just had to contribute my part. You know, I have a YouTube channel, I took AP art, that connects, you know, like I have to make this video, and hopefully, I don't know, someone finds something from me posting this. So for those of you who don't know, AP art portfolio is made up of a whole bunch of pieces that you create that year for the portfolio, and it's around a certain theme, a certain topic that you choose. So my portfolio, I chose to do like the life to death experience, like moments that are significant throughout a person's life, you know? So I think what we had to do was slightly different than other years because we had COVID restrictions and whatnot, so we submitted 15 pieces. I think it's usually like 24 or something? I don't know. But I don't know, we submitted 15 pieces and then we selected 5 of those pieces to be like our quality pieces. And we didn't actually send them in because once again, like COVID stuff, but I don't know, they were like highlighted. First up, oh my gosh. First up we have this painting. So this is the order that I submitted them, which when you submit your work, you kind of want to do like good ones in the beginning and good ones at the end, and then the middles where you can kind of like, you know, like put your ones so that like they forget about them, you know? So yeah, this I would say is one of my like stronger pieces in the portfolio. As I said, I'm not really proud of any of these paintings, but I don't know, this one's okay. I wish I did different colors, or like, I don't know, I just wish it was different. So this was one of my like 5 highlighted pieces, and it's pretty much just about nostalgia. I guess it's more personal to me, like when I just think of nostalgia, it's like, I don't know, this is like something that I guess kind of personifies how I feel. It's kind of gloomy and sad, but also not quite. It's supposed to be kind of like, you know, there was this tea party in the middle of the woods, you know, maybe some little kids having a tea party or whoever, but now it's like been abandoned and there's crows like picking up, you know, like the random leftovers and whatever. So I don't know, that just is what I think of when I think of nostalgia, so I painted it. Okay, next up we have this piece. If I'm being honest, I just stole this picture off of Pinterest, which you're not supposed to do. Don't do that. But yeah, I don't know, I like this one. This one's okay. Once again, it's not my picture, so I feel like I can't really be proud of it. So the meaning behind this one is that feeling of just always wanting like a little bit more, you know, because in this picture, like you're like right beneath the surface of the water, so like you're almost at the top but like not quite, and so even though you're not at the surface, it's still really pretty. I don't know if I'm gonna be good at explaining any of these paintings, but basically it's supposed to be about how you should just take some time to appreciate the moment that you're in, because if you just stop to look around, you see that like, oh my gosh, underwater is really pretty. I don't know if that makes any sense, but basically it's just about appreciating the moment you're in and not always living for the future, because that's something I really struggle with. And that was also one of my like 5 starred pieces. Okay, next up I have this piece. Here's where we start to get more rushed with my artwork. I don't like hate this one, but once again, like, I just wish I could have done it better. So, basically there's like a flashlight and then like a little spider and then a shadow of a big scary spider. And it's pretty much just to symbolize when you're little, things can seem really big and scary, but then when you grow up, you have a different perspective and you realize things aren't that bad. Or maybe not even good versus bad looking, like seeming things, but just things seem different with a different perspective. Okay, next up, this one was supposed to be my pride and joy. It was supposed to be like the big wow painting, but then I actually didn't end up painting it because I ran out of time. So this is my underpainting for painting number whatever we're on. It's just a whole bunch of clowns like staring and pointing at you and laughing at you. Because usually you go to the circus to laugh at the clowns, but now the clowns are in the audience and they're like laughing at you. And it's supposed to be how everyone is kind of hypocritical. Once again, I am not good at explaining these. They make like perfect sense in my head, but when I put them into words, maybe not so much. Okay, next. My teacher actually really liked this one, but I hate it. Once again, I did this in like a night. So it's pretty much just a whole bunch of Russian dolls. This one, you can probably guess the meaning. Once again, I was really rushed, so I just kind of made it up. But it's just about like who you are on the inside. Really not that deep. Kind of just like a forced meaning, if I'm being honest. This is the first time I tried to paint like a blurry background, you know, like out of focus. On camera I actually feel like it looks better than it does in person. I don't know. Once again, I don't like this one. I don't like most of my portfolio, but there it is. This next one I also stole from Pinterest. It's just a painting of 2 statues. Not the best, not the worst, but it's just like, once again, super rushed. I did it in like just a couple hours. This one's just supposed to symbolize like your first love, which I don't even know how I painted because I've never experienced. Oh gosh. Okay, this next one, you're seeing it for a second and that's it. Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay, that's it. I hate that one. I hate it so much. Ironically, it's the one I spent the most amount of time on. I couldn't get it to look good. And in case you didn't notice, it was actually in a frame. And if you're wondering, hey, why was that one in a frame, the rest of them aren't? Because my teacher decided to send that one in to an art contest. Don't ask me why. Don't ask me why, because it's terrible. Anyways, moving on. Next up, we have this one. Once again, I think I did it in like a night, maybe 2. It's just a girl, you know, having a little picnic at the beach, and she's taking a picture of you, but you can't really see her face, and you can't like see really anything specific, like the people in the background are all just kind of blobs, which you might be thinking, Fiona, isn't that just like a cop-out so you don't have to paint things? Maybe. But it is also a painting about memory loss. So yeah, it's pretty much just supposed to be like as if this was a picture, like a brain snapshot of someone's memory, but they can't really remember the person's face or any of the specifics, but they just remember the memory. So next, I just submitted 2 sketchbook pieces, like 2 sketchbook pages to show my process, because you can do that. And say it with me, folks, I was running out of time. Okay, next up, these are also really rushed. Or not rushed, but they were very like forced last minute, like let me put something else in there. So these 2 go together. They go like this. and it's literally just an abstract thing of life and death. Yeah, literally whatever. Moving on. Next up, there's this one. This is another one of my 5-starred pieces, but I actually don't really like it that much. I think the concept is really cool, and I wish I could have just not procrastinated and had enough time to actually make it look really good, because in my brain this could have been so good. So basically it is a long table just covered in food, and actually something my teacher helped me do, or like realize that I should do, is make it look like a mouth. So this is like a tongue, like the table is like the tongue, the chairs are like the teeth, and then the drapes in the whole room is like the mouth, you know? And I thought that was really cool. So I like the idea. So this painting pretty much just symbolizes how a lot of people, especially girls, you know, in the United States have issues with food, whether it's like not eating enough kind of issues, or like eating too much kind of issues, or literally no matter what it is, even if it's something like as simple as not being confident in, you know, bathing suit or whatever. Like it's all just so stupid and ridiculous how scary food can be sometimes. This is just like a whole buffet of food that, you know, a lot of people in the world would be really excited to eat a whole bunch of food. You know, like when you're a little kid, you'd be like, oh my gosh, a buffet, I can eat whatever I want, that's amazing. But it's sometimes becomes like a very daunting thing, which is, once again, super stupid. Okay, this next one I actually don't hate. I kind of like this one. It's just a stack of banana pancakes on a windowsill. This one, even though, like as I said, I like it visually, it's like pretty okay, but even if it's not the best, I still like it because of the meaning. It's based off the song Banana Pancakes by Jack Johnson, and I just love that song. And it is like my daydream song, I guess. Sometimes I'm like really sad, I need to think about like my hypothetical future self just like making banana pancakes one morning in, you know, my future apartment, and, you know, whatever. Like, I don't know. You know how you just kind of have to like imagine your future self being happy sometimes to like make your current self feel better? Okay, next up we have actually one of my favorites. We have Mr. Frog Prince. Once again, I did this in like a night, so the background choice, like the background is just terrible. Don't mind the background. This one's pretty much just about like kid imagination, like, you know, when you're little, the princess and the frog kind of thing. I feel like if I try to actually explain the meaning, it doesn't make too much sense, but basically in my head it's about childhood imagination. And that's also another one of my 5-starred pieces. Okay, last but not least, we have this one. This one I actually don't hate. Once again, it was really rushed. I think I did it, I don't know, actually the little like things in the wall, I remember it took actually a little while to complete, so I didn't do it in like a day. But yeah, I didn't have like actually time to sketch it out and make it nice, so I just like sketched it with the paint itself. So the proportions, like the anatomy of the girls are a little off, but we can just say that it's a stylistic choice. So once again, you want to kind of end your portfolio with one of your stronger pieces, so I don't know, I like this one. Even if it's not perfect, I kind of like it. So this is the last one of my 5 pieces. This is basically 2 showgirls like in a dressing room about to go on stage, and it's supposed to symbolize that time when you're like 18-ish and you're like about to go to college, you're about to like leave your house for like the first time, and it's really kind of like scary but also like really exciting, like that feeling when you're about to go on stage and perform, which as a theater kid I know that feeling. Being scared but also excited, I kind of think of being about to perform. So yeah, that's what I painted. Okay, so then I also took a screenshot of my written responses because those are something you also have to submit. So the first question that they asked was identify the question or questions or inquiry that guided your sustained investigation. So pretty much what is your portfolio is about. So I said, my concentration is based off of the life experience, specifically from my perspective as a female living in the United States. Each piece symbolizes a different part of life, whether good or bad. While some pieces are more literal, others simply portray a certain mood or use symbolism. Super simple to the point, like they don't want a big explanation. And the next question was describe how your sustained investigation shows evidence of practice, experimentation, and revision guided by your question or questions or inquiry. So I said, throughout the journey of making my concentration, I feel as if I grew not only my technical skill, but my creativity as well. More specifically, I feel as if I got better at using symbolism and allusions to make my pieces stronger. For example, in piece 1, I used the crows, who are known for remembering places and faces because the piece is about nostalgia and memory. In piece 4, I painted clowns laughing at the viewer, as if the viewer was a clown performing for them to represent how hypocritical people can be at a certain age. I also experimented with staining the canvas. Specifically, I found I like having a bright red base, like in pieces 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 12, and 13, even if it's not visible by the end. Sorry I was reading that so sporadically, the screenshot's really bad. But yeah. They don't want a big, long, detailed explanation with fancy words and everything. Like, they just want you to get to the point, say what you learned, say what you were inspired by, like that kind of thing. So that's another tip, I guess. But yeah, that's my concentration. If you guys have any questions or comments, leave them down below. If you're someone who's like on the fence about taking AP art, I would just go for it. I mean, like, what's the worst that can happen? It's super fun. You're definitely gonna grow because you're forced to make a lot of art. And yeah, it's just, like, why not? You should definitely do it. And don't procrastinate. Okay, bye!